We are back at it on a Football Friday, and we're brought to you in part by Suds Full Service Car Wash. Fuel your fleet's finesse with Suds Regina's unbeatable cleaning packages. They'll shine like new every time. Visit sudsregina.com, and they also bring you our weekend newsletter, the Rod Squad newsletter. It drops every Sunday. You can sign up for free at rodpeterson.com. The Moose is on fire. We got him. Happy Football Friday, Moose. Welcome back home. How are you?
Yeah, happy Super Bowl week. I'm great, man. Good to be on. We were chatting on the phone this week, and it got me thinking about being in LA with you right at the Super Bowl. And I couldn't find my LA pullover. I was going to wear it, but I think it's in the closet somewhere. I couldn't find it.
It's funny, that was a very quality one. I bought a cheap Bengals Super Bowl golf shirt there that I've had to throw out. People, you get what you pay for. I would have worn it too, but I threw that sucker out. Well, listen, before we get into this Super Bowl 60 matchup, what are your recollections of that Los Angeles Super Bowl? You lined it all up, man. That was so much fun.
Oh, it was so much fun. I mean, from getting into LA, we were at the beautiful Westin Airport Hotel. They treated us great. I remember the Bengals were there with their, what did they have in the conference room there? The Bengals were on site, the party. It was great. Yeah. Mo Egger having all the guys come down. Jarrett Stoll came down, reminiscing with him, and Dan Moriarty, and you name it, right? I think Cam Judge came down. It was just really fun. We had such a cool set in the hotel, and then getting down to the NFL experience. I think that's the coolest thing. When you're in that NFL experience, you see everything set up. We went down to Radio Row, and we walked around there and checked that out, and we shook some hands and did our thing down there. It was so much fun. And then I know you missed out on it. And looking back now, you know, we can chat about this another time. You know, you kick yourself, but then going to the DraftKings party. That I wish you would have made it to the DraftKings party. But you know what? I went to the DraftKings party with Jerry Rice and a couple other celebrities. But then you went, was it Ron Jaworski's party the one night, the cigar party, Ditka, right? Mike Ditka's cigar party.
Yep.
So you went to that one. I didn't go. I feel bad. But I got to go to the DraftKings party and you didn't. So it was a fun week.
Yeah, we did a lot of fun things together too. But that party was fun. Chris Carter, Jim McMahon, Michael Irvin. It was good. Yeah, for sure. Hey, everybody's excited. Allie says, hey, Moose. Shane in Deer Valley, your boy Shane says, hey, Moose. Arlen Bruce writes in, and I like this. I love when the viewers are more than welcome to steer this. AB says, let's talk football locker room talk. Are the Patriots saying, hey, let's march over their logo and take these birds out? Or are the Seahawks saying, let's go crazy, like the movie Birds? AB, what are you into today? But let's talk about that. John Ryan really laid it out well earlier this week, how this is not the same as any other week for the teams, because you're out of your routine. You're staying in a hotel. As he said, new chef, new this, new that. What do you think the intangibles will be for Super Bowl 60 that will determine the winner in Santa Clara, Seahawks and Patriots?
Yeah, there's a few. I mean, coaching is for me number one. That may swing this in the Patriots' favor. Mike Vrabel plays the underdog role so well and will have his team ready to go and prepared. I'm not saying Mike McDonald won't, but I think coaching is going to be an intangible. There are so many good young players. Drake May, Sam Darnold, the two quarterbacks. That's a very intriguing matchup. We don't know about the health of Drake May and his shoulder. They said in practice he's been a full participant and looks good to go. But then other people say that they're watching him and he's not moving his shoulder when he's going about interviews and different things. So that's something to watch. I like the receivers for Seattle, Jackson Smith and Jigba, who was offensive player of the year, I believe, at NFL Honors last night. I wonder how he will, a young player, play in a big moment. And then I talked about it last time I came on. Cooper Kupp, I think, plays that veteran role. I wonder the impact he'll have on the game. I think it'll be a big one. So a lot of intangibles heading into the weekend.
Well, it's really awesome that you say coaching. That might be the biggest one. I mean, Kenny Nickunn said yesterday that it could be a call. He thinks it'd come down to a call. God, I hope not. Scruffy said last hour about, whoever steps up and makes the play. And he was talking about on defense, like a Malcolm Butler type, game-defining defensive play. So there's that. And I still say turnovers. Because because I wonder how much you think history plays into this. Because I kind of got mind numb this morning reading about this. It's like the Seahawks have beaten the Patriots the last 7, but that don't mean anything. But what does, I think, is ball security. In New England's +3 in turnover ratio, Seattle's -3. That's kind of a trend. It's kind of a big thing.
It is. Sam Darnold's been able to protect the ball, though, here in the playoffs, and that offense has been really good. If Sam Darnold can protect the football, I think Seattle has a huge edge. So turnovers, you're right, I think are a big storyline. If he protects the football and they don't turn it over, I think the Seahawks should win the football game. I think it's this offense and ball security from Seattle, and I think it's the defense of New England. I don't think anybody's expecting the New England Patriots, despite Drake May being 1 vote away from winning the MVP, I don't think anybody's expecting them to come out and light the world on fire offensively. It's about, can that defense hold them in the game, create some turnovers, and where I think coaching comes in. If this is a close game, like it was in the playoffs against Denver, if this is a close game, I think the Patriots win because of Mike Vrabel and his ability to coach in tight games. But if it's not, it'll be in the way of Seattle.
Well, it's what's nice about football, of the many things. Again, I'll quote John Ryan, something we all knew. Any given Sunday, this is not a 7-game series. I mean, would you be shocked? You would clearly not be shocked if New England won on Sunday.
No, not at all. Not at all. These two teams are both deserving of being in the Super Bowl, and either one of them can win the game.
From the text line for Western Dodge, 902-518-3033, Kirk writes in, he says, "Hey, Rod, no Buck, no Jim Barker. Life goes on, but probably I'll run into Jim at an Argos game, though." Moose is on here as Jim Barker has resigned his post, as he's now taking a position with the Toronto Argonauts. Wayne in BC writes in, he just says, "Hey, Rod, can you ask Moose if he'll be your regular Football Friday guest, or is he too busy? I would love when he comes on." From Wayne and BC. Just give the people an update that you're a busy guy. Of the million updates you have to give.
Yeah, I know it is. It's very busy, and it's hard to commit the time every week. But you know what? I'd love nothing more than to come on here more, and we're going to do that. It's part of the New Year's resolution, is to get back to coming on here more often. So we'll free up more time in the calendar for you guys.
Well, it's funny because football's football, and there are a lot of comments that have come in from the viewers. I'll get to as many as I can with you here. And by the way, Johnny Avello is coming up from DraftKings in the next segment. But I'm seeing a lot of stuff on NFL Network, ESPN about flag. That's your next event. They're obviously promoting the Olympics, the 2028 Olympics, how flag football is going to be part of that. Maybe you should tell the world that's watching that doesn't know already how big of a deal this is.
Yeah, it's growing like crazy. There's rumors of more flag popping up all over the place. The NCAA is getting into flag like never before, where you're seeing flag football NIL deals now. Let's be honest, flag football is much bigger on the women's side than the men's side. Obviously, growing up, there's more of the young men that are playing tackle football and more of the women that are playing flag football. So it's a little bit bigger, but it's growing in both sides, both genders, for sure. And it's growing towards the Olympics. It's growing around the world. It is definitely a fun sport, and you see the NFL attaching themselves to it with the Pro Bowl games.
Yeah, well, and as I say, I mean, get on board or don't, but it's growing. It's definitely not going away. 902-518-3033 is the text line. Tony writes in from the Bridge City. He says, "Hey, Rod, I only knew of Bad Bunny when he went and did some wrestling with WWE, and he did not look out of place. Will I watch? I wonder." Well, I don't know where you stand on this no news is bad news thing. I've gone back and forth on that in my life. But, I mean, the publicity the NFL's got out of having Bad Bunny perform at halftime is priceless.
Did you see the press conference for Bad Bunny, the news conference?
No.
It was media out the door. They had to get a bigger conference room because there was so much media involved. Look at the NFL. And look, I hinted on, I didn't hint, but I talked about it on the show when I was in Australia, saying the NFL, it's not going to be long before they come to Australia. Pull the clip. Now the NFL is going to Australia next season, right? They're trying to be, well, they're not trying. They're becoming a global league. and this is a global superstar. So maybe not as big in North America or as popular, but definitely still popular in North America, massive around the world. I think I've been listening to some Bad Bunny since the announcement. And while I don't understand the language, and a lot of it's not in English, most of it, I think pretty much all of his music is Spanish music. It's catchy, it's fun, it's a good beat. I think we're going to have a good time watching it.
You know, pardon me, while you're here, probably would be a good time. I was saying to the viewers earlier, and I've given you a breakdown of some of our demographics. I don't know why people like us, but they do. We're just going to keep doing what we're doing and talking about the things that we always talk about. And for instance, when I talked to you earlier this week, I said, what's the news up there? What's popping? And you said, they're all upset that the NFL is not coming to Canada as part of the international series. Maybe we should carry that conversation onto the air here. What are they saying? And you have thoughts as to why the NFL is not coming back to Canada.
Yeah, I've seen it. And, some of the speculation online was, well, when they did the Bills series in Toronto, they were giving away tickets on the day of the game on the street. And they go to Winnipeg for an exhibition game. And then there was issues with the field and all the rest of that. And, I think the day that they come to Canada a little more regularly is coming. Do I think it has, the field size won't hurt because you won't have to do any changes to the field, really. I mean, you'll have to narrow it a little bit. But you really won't have to change anything. The end zones will narrow, but there won't be any significant changes. You're not going to have a hole where the goalposts were in the middle of the field. So that will help. But the reason they're not coming to Canada, in my mind, is they're trying to grow this game around the world. And I know Canada is an international market compared to the USA, like it's a different country. Technically, it checks that box, but they already have Canada. Canadians are following the NFL more than any other league, I feel like. And I think there's numbers to back that up. They have Canada. They're marketing to Canada. They're trying to go places where they want to grow the game. They already have Canada. We already are NFL fans here. We get the games on TV as part of our regular packages. We get the news. It's on our social media feeds. It's everywhere else. They're trying to grow it in places like Brazil and in the United Kingdom and Germany and now Australia, where they play the games in the morning. They're trying to grow other markets and build what they have in Canada in these other markets. So I think that's why they're not coming to Canada. They already have us.
I'm writing that down. I hope you don't mind. That'll be the meme. They already have Canada. But, you were just at the Australian Open. Just, briefly tell the folks what you saw there in terms of NFL merchandise and advertising. It's there. They're already there.
It's there. It's not, it's not Australian rules football or, as we call soccer too, or cricket or some of these other sports. But the merchandise is in the sports stores, the NFL merchandise, some baseball, but more NFL. The logos are being worn, some by travelers. But you got sports bars with posters advertising the Super Bowl coming up. Now, I believe the Super Bowl is going to be played at about 7 or 8 in the morning, Australia time, something like that. But they're advertising it. And that's the infiltration of the NFL around the world. It's not just about having fans in seats. It's about watching on television. It's about watching in sports bars. It's about buying the merchandise. It's all of it. Massive business, and they're growing it like crazy.
Hey, stop the presses. Jeremy Davis has written in from the Game Plus control room on the text line 902-518-3033. Your boy Jeremy Davis writes in. He says, glad to see the Moose back. Glad you're going to be on Game Plus with flag football. Did you know that? Are we breaking news here? Flag football coming to Game Plus?
We're breaking news. This just came out in the last day or two, I think, for me. I think there's been some stuff behind the scenes, but some of the flag football that we got is going to be on the air next weekend, on Sunday, next Sunday. So a week from the Super Bowl, the event will be down in LA. Should be lots of fun. Am I going to be on the air for it? I don't know yet. I don't actually think I'm on the air for the games, but it'll be fun.
Thank you, Jeremy, for the note. Thank you for paying attention and for writing in the positive comment. Well, I'll tell you what, this show clipped that they're showing on Game Plus, part of it is having slap fights. I can't stop watching that. It's like a train wreck or a car crash. I can't stop watching. Guys stand there and slap each other hard.
I know.
Fantastic. While I have you here, did you catch much of the Battle of Florida last night? I can't let you get out of here without. Did your TV settle on that at all?
It did. And Tampa Bay is And I mean, I say they're back, but they never really went away. But it's fun when you start to see some of the bad blood and Hagel and Kachuk, and they're saying in Four Nations Part 2 and a preview for the Olympics. And man, I am excited as all for the Olympic hockey to get started. Man, that was fun last night, and I mean, the Panthers are in the same place up here in Toronto as the Leafs are. Just trying to stay close to the mix and get hot down the stretch. But man, it's going to be tough for those two franchises to get into the playoffs at this point.
Well, okay, so you're saying it would be tough. There's a lot of people that have outright written off the Panthers. I don't really care as much about the Leafs. I mean, you're a Leaf fan and you live there. I live here, but I just mathematically, as long as there's a chance, and I would hope we're not sitting there talking about mathematics just yet. Once the Olympics are over, the stretch drive will be on, right? We're not there
big
yet.
Time. And no, but it's almost into must-win territory. And what's crazy about it is you got Toronto after beating Edmonton. I think they were a point back of the Oilers. Yet the Oilers are comfortably in the top 3 of their division, and the Leafs are 8 points out of the playoffs. So the two conferences not very balanced. That Atlantic division that both the Leafs and the Panthers are in is a juggernaut. It is the best division we've seen in a while, I think, in hockey, top to bottom. How deep it is. Buffalo's rolling again. Detroit, Boston's in a playoff spot, I believe, as we sit here today. So that's the breaks. That's hockey.
Well, Panthers need to get healthy. If they don't, they got a built-in excuse why they would miss. And number 2, if they do get healthy and beat the right teams, they'll be in. But I'll tell you what, the panic here, I laughed talking to a Toronto guy that there might be some panic around a hockey team in Florida compared to where you live. But it's Jersey Jim was just here, and he couldn't believe the heat that's on the Florida Panthers with the fact that they're out of a playoff spot here right here with this late in the season. By the way, Johnny Avello coming up from DraftKings next, but just from the audience, Laverne in the Frontier City writes in and he says, Hey, RP and Moose, don't you just want Sam Darnold to win? Prove the critics wrong? I didn't ask you who you're cheering for. My guess is you're cheering for the Patriots. By the way, I am, but who are you cheering for?
I want Sam Darnold to win. Of course I do. I love the Sam Darnold story. But I'm also cheering for Mike Vrabel, as you, I think, just guessed. I'm cheering for Mike Vrabel because his story, and I hate the way it ended in Tennessee. And I hate that he's having success somewhere else. But you know what? I'm also really, really happy for him. So you know what?
Not his fault.
I'm cheering for the Patriots. But I would love to see Sam Darnold win too.
Well, I think Seattle will win, but I'm cheering for the Patriots, but for different reasons. Robert Kraft, the guy in a league based on parity, salary cap, he's in his 11th Super Bowl, and he's owned the team for 32 years. Given all that, everything's worked against him to be able to do this. To me, that's like the biggest story in the whole damn game, right?
And it's
ownership
criminal
wins.
that him and Belichick weren't first ballot Hall of Famers. Criminal.
Oh my God, we never even brought that up yet. It's, like the Pro Football
Now, if
Hall
Tom
of Fame.
Brady's not a first ballot Hall of Famer, we got to shut the hall down.
Oh, Kenny Nagun said yesterday he's trying to distance himself, and that's why he's not saying he's cheering for the Patriots. He's trying to distance himself from those guys. I'm not saying it's wrong, but how sad would that be? Okay, Moose, have a great weekend. Thanks for the time. Your adoring fans love you.
You bet. Enjoy the game.
And the Johnny Avello fans will love our next segment. You too, Moose. Enjoy the game. We'll be back with DraftKings Johnny Avello, the odds guru. We're live across Nevada on Game Plus Television and Silver State Sports.